it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. We're a little bit late tonight because I was at Claire's softball game, so thanks for being so patient. It was good to see her pitch, and I grabbed a quick bite to eat, and now I'm ready to share some projects with you using stuff from the brand new annual catalog. If you haven't been under a rock, you know the annual catalog just started on Tuesday, and this is an annual catalog, so we got it for the entire year. I'm so excited. There are so many beautiful things inside this catalog, and my first set of orders arrived today. Most of it is product share stuff. It's not too late if you have not signed up for the product share and you want to. Just make sure to do it right away. I have some extra stuff, but not a lot. And I want to get these all sent out before we leave for Maui next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. So sign up right now if you are interested in getting that. It's a little bit of everything from the mini catalog or from the annual catalog. So it's all the 6x6 designer paper, all the paper cut to 6x6, all the new ribbons, all the new embellishments, or you can get the in color one that focuses on in color cardstock, in color ribbon, in color designer paper, and embellishments. And then there's an optional add-on, which is the Biggest Wish stamp set, and I'm going to use that today. So all of my orders just came this afternoon, so I scrambled to pull some things out to share with you tonight, and I kind of like leaned on my go-to stuff. So I'm going to show you some easy layouts, some very duplicatable projects that I think you're going to love, and one of my favorite things to do is to case from the catalog. So case means to copy and share everything, or I always like to say copy and selectively edit. So sometimes I make a little change here, a little change there, like changing the colors or changing the stamp set, but using the idea that's in the catalog. So I'm going to show you that. And I'm not going to do like a whole little catalog tour. If you missed the last video that I did, you can find it on YouTube, or I shared it on Facebook as well. I did a virtual catalog open house. And so I kind of walked through the annual catalog and pointed out some things that you might have overlooked, and talked about my favorites and some of the features of the catalog. So if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out. I'll put a link to it in the video description when we're all done as well, so that you can see that. And there's 2 demonstrations in that video. The vertical diorama card with party puffins, and this one. And the other card was the window card with the beauty of friendship. So both of those cards are shown in the virtual open house video. So I'll link to that if you haven't seen it. Let's just skip right to the good stuff. So the first card I'm using is kind of a go-to layout. I love this layout. You may remember it. I did it a lot. I think it was like last summer when there was a new catalog, and I just was obsessed with it and using it over and over again. So this is a card that I created with the pretty pansies. Is that what they're called? Pretty pansies? Pansy patch. And I just love the way this turned out. I took the color story from the catalog and some of the samples there, and I stamped the pansy. So it's Bumblebee, So Saffron, and Calypso Coral with a little bit of the new Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent, and then a little bit of like soft sea foam, I think, in the middle, that really, really light green color. So this is the layout that I'm going to use, but for tonight's project, I'm going to use a brand new stamp set. If you are a demonstrator and you registered for On Stage, we received a stamp set called Etched in Nature, and there were some quality issues with that. So if you've been eyeing that one in the catalog, I don't think it's available to order right now. But if you registered for On Tour and you got that stamp set, then you were you have a free stamp set to redeem to take its place. So when you, on a demonstrator order, when you start your order, you're going to see like a list of stamp sets that you can choose from. If you kind of have an idea of what you want to get, then you can do like a Control F and find it in the list really easily. I chose the shaded summer stamp set. This is a really great stamp set and literally came out of the box. I haven't even mounted it yet. I thought this new embossing folder called Pretty Flowers matched pretty well with it. I thought it matched more in the catalog, and when I see it here in person, it's not quite the same, but I still think it's going to look really nice. So we're using this layout, but we're going to change it up and do this stamp set. And I have a couple different ideas for how to do these flowers. So I think we're going to try them both, and then you can tell me which way that you like it. And I'll finish that card. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're going to use some markers to marker directly onto the stamp. And I just remembered, since I was gone, I didn't get a chamois cleaned up, and we might need one. So hey family, can someone come and help me? Okay, so here's my little trick, if you haven't seen me do this before, to adhere the stickers to the stamps. I like to peel the sticker off the sheet, put it onto the black, and then add the rubber. So I feel like maybe I just need a slightly larger black. Well, I think we're going to make it work. I'm just going to kind of angle. Oh, that's perfect. It fits that way. Very good. Can you wet this for me, Anna Banana? Get my chamois ready to go. Okay, so after you get the sticker on the black, then you're going to take the paper back. And if you don't have a little fingernail that can get in there, you can use the take your pick tool with the little like spatula, and you can kind of slide under and pick that off. Okay, now we want to make sure that our stamp is going the same direction, and you're going to put this on the desk. This is, I think, a really important part of this technique. You want to have it flat on the desk so that sometimes I think if you try to go like this, you might have a tendency to like to curl it or bend it. And I think that's just because it's so floppy. So you want to have it flat on the desk so that it's getting nice, even pressure across the entire stamp, and you won't have any of that puckering and bending, because this sticker is really sticky. Once you get it on the stamp, it's not gonna come off. So you want to keep it on the desk, and then you're gonna hover over and line it up and come down and it will stick to the stamp. So then when you're all done, you peel the whole thing off and you can store it back in your case. So that is my little trick. I don't remember where I saw that. I think it was on Demonstrator Planning Plays. One of the perks I love about being a demonstrator is having access to this special Facebook group for demonstrators. So we get all kinds of ideas and we share there, and that's such an awesome resource. Just one of the many things I love about being a demonstrator. How many of you are demonstrators? I know I did a poll once, and there was quite a large number of demonstrators who were watching. So leave a comment if you're a demonstrator. It needs to be wet so that we can like squeeze it. So keep it under the water. Watch where you're dripping. Keep it under the water and keep squishing it until it's soft. Anna is doing my chamois for me and getting it ready. She's so awesome. Okay, let's put the papers away. We're going to use the Pretty Flowers embossing folder, and we're embossing some new polished pink cardstock. That's the color this is. You know, I really thought magenta really is so bright, but I thought that the polished pink was really not as bright as magenta, but it looks so bright next to Evening Evergreen, because Evening Evergreen is so dark. But let me just show you really quick. Here is Magenta Madness, and this is polished pink. So like next to Magenta Madness is like, okay, it's not so electric. All right, we are going to get out the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is the big one because this embossing folder does not fit into the little machine. However, we do have embossing folders. Let me really quickly flip to the catalog. In the back where the embossing folders are, there is a symbol that will show you which of the embossing folders fit into the mini catalog, or to the mini embossing machine. And so right here, look for that little icon, and those actually come with 2 different folders. So each of those sets include 2 different folders, and they're skinny, so they fit into that that smaller machine. So we're using the big one, and this is just a regular embossing folder. It's not a 3D embossing folder. So for a regular embossing folder, we are going to, it says it right on your sandwich board here. Okay, so we've got insert embossing folders, hinge first. Okay, oh, that's a good tip. Sometimes I don't pay attention. So what it's saying is to insert the embossing folder with this part, the hinge, not the open end, the hinge to go through first. That's going to apply good pressure and keep your embossing folder intact. Okay, so For a regular embossing folder, which is this one, you can tell it's not as thick. This is going to use the base, which is number 1. That's what this is. And then 2 of the standard cutting plates, which are number 3. Now, if you had a 3D embossing folder, which is thicker, then you're going to use the base. And instead of the cutting plates, you're going to use number 4, which is just a little bit thicker than 1 standard cutting plate. So if you're ever in doubt, just look at the sandwich diagram on your embossing, what is that, platform, your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine platform. Yes. I am so sorry that I'm not keeping up with all your comments. Sometimes it's so hard to like focus and watch them at the same time. If I miss anything, I promise I will come back and answer your questions and respond if I need to. So I'm sorry in advance if I miss any of your comments. Okay, so we've got the embossing folder. We're going to have that instead of the designer paper here. And then I cut the same paper. I wasn't sure what colors to use, but I wanted to bring in the green. So I've got the same paper from the pansy paper. And then we've got our layer that we're going to stamp on. And I thought it'd be really pretty to bring in one of the square doilies. So that's just going to be, maybe, if it's not too busy, just like a little layer under there. I don't know, maybe that is too busy. We could always put it on top of the designer paper so it shows up a little bit more. Let's see. I don't know, it might be too much. Let's do our stamping and then we can decide what we think. So I've got 2 white pieces so we can stamp 2 different ways. The first way is to use the Stampin' Right markers. Thank you so much, Anna. You're gonna have to squeeze that. squeeze all the water out. Oh, she's such a good helper. She's being such a good sport. Okay, we are using the markers to color directly on the stamp. So for this technique, I want to use the soft succulent and the polished pink. And this is the regular Stampin' Right markers, not the Stampin' Blends. And so it comes in a package with all 5 colors. It's $15, and you get 1 of each color. There's not like a light in the dark like there is with the blends. So for this technique, I want to color the flowers pink and then the other things green. So I'm going to use the brush tip on the marker, and I'm just coloring directly on the rubber. This is a really great way to get multiple colors on an image like this. So I'm going to go through and do all the stems first. Now this ink does dry really fast, so when you're doing this technique, you want to make sure that you re-moisten the ink before you stamp. So let's get all these colored and then we'll switch to, oops, I got a little bit overzealous there. Thank you, Anne Banana. Maybe we can do it with this. Let's use our chamois and just, okay, I removed the color from where I didn't want it. And we're going to use the polished pink now to fill in the flowers. I feel like I don't use this technique a lot, but back in the day, like when we didn't have all the fancy die cutting machine and all that stuff, I feel like we did some of these stamping techniques a little bit more. So this is a really great technique to use your markers, and the result is going to be so pretty. I gotta redo that stem. Okay, so to re-moisten the ink, I'm just going to give a little huff and breathe on it so that it re-moistens the ink, because this is the dye-based ink that does dry kind of quickly. So now we've got our multicolor image. Isn't that cool? The other way that we're going to do it, and you can tell me which one you like better, is to just do it straight in pink. So let's do that in pink. You get a little crisper image there. You don't get the lines from the markers. I think part of that, it being so light, is because it was so so dry. You know, I don't want to redo the whole thing, but I just want to see, because sometimes after cleaning the stamp for the first time, you get like a brighter a brighter result from using the markers. And sometimes there's just like, you know, some residue from the stamp manufacturing. And if you clean it first, then you get that off and you get a prettier image. So I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I just want to see if it's any better now that I've cleaned it. Let's do. That's a little bit better. Oh, I got ink there. Well, we might just end up using that one by default. Okay, now we're gonna add the sentiment with Evening Evergreen. This green is so dark, it's almost black. And I remembered that I want to do some gems, so we could always cover that up with a gem. Okay, so there's the two. Which one do you like better? I love this technique, but I'm not really digging the way that turned out tonight. So I'm kind of leaning towards just the straight, solid pink. I love how just clean and simple that looks. But let's just really quick show you what this looks like on the card. I find that it makes it more busy. I'm liking this like solid color there. This stamp set, Shaded Summer, has a lot of really great sentiments in it. May the good you do come back to you. Oh gosh, I really love that. Above and beyond, you go there a lot. Love you, friend. Happy birthday. Some friendships are just meant to be. Hello, you, and thank you. Do you think that the words in the green, can you read them okay over the pink ink? I think since you can see most of it, like, you know, your brain sort of fills in the rest. Okay, I'm looking to see what you guys think. I'm seeing a lot of pink. I think the solid pink is definitely the way to go tonight. Yes. In fact, I don't think any of you said the markers, but that's a great technique to keep in your back pocket. Okay, let's glue this together. And then look what I have. These in color jewels. They come in all of the new in colors. So we've got Soft Succulent, Fresh Freesia, Evening Evergreen, Pale Papaya, and Polished Pink. These colors are so pretty. I really do love the in colors. Okay, let's go ahead and put these down and then we'll decide what colored gems we want. And I'm layering this here in the center. I should give you the measurements. I'll try to remember to include them in the video description as well. So it's 3 by 4.5 inches for the pink piece. And then I'm going to layer all of these and then add them on the card together. So I think I do like this doily on top of the designer paper, just like an extra peek of like pattern and, you know, something there. Oh, good. Okay, thank you. Jana says we can read the sentiment just fine. Like I said, I think your brain automatically sort of fills in what it's supposed to be. So I think it works out. Let's add this on with Stampin' Dimensionals. Hi, Jill. Thank you so much for sharing. You guys are always so good. And I don't always acknowledge when we're live because I'm not following all the comments very well. But thank you for sharing the video. I always appreciate that. So more stampers can join us and see what we're working on. I'm going to make that just a little bit crooked. I really love the way that turned out. This layout is just so awesome, and you can do it with so many things. I wish I had some of the other samples that I've made, but I've done cards with the whales, and what did I do last year? I did... The whales is the one that's sticking in my head, but I know that I use this layout like over and over again. Okay, for jewels, I'm thinking probably the darker green, but maybe the lighter green since we've got a little bit of that in there. So this one is the Soft Succulent. Let me put that on here. Soft Succulent, and then the Evening Evergreen. Well, I don't know. Maybe the Evening Evergreen is the right choice. There are two different sizes. We've got bigger ones and little ones. So I'm thinking maybe one of each. That kind of gets lost, doesn't it? Oh gosh, I always struggle with these. Like, where do we put the third one? Oh. Oh, I kind of like that. And then we could put the third one over here. What do you guys think of that? We've got our little triangle, right? 3 in groups of 3 and triangles, we always say, is the way to go. I think I like it up there. We've got a nice little pattern. What do you guys think? Is that a winner? Give me a thumbs up or a heart. Let me know if you like this card. Oh, good. I'm seeing some hearts. Perfect. Now, so next week on Saturday, I leave to go to Maui, and I signed up to do a card swap, but I haven't even started thinking about my cards. So I might do something like this because that is so easy and uses some new product. So I think people would be happy if they got this as a swap card, don't you? The third one on the other side. Hold on, maybe I missed something. Third one, other side. I think I have it right? It's a triangle. I've got yeah, I think it's good. There's like a little bit of a delay, so I think you guys maybe were responding to how I was thinking about over here, but I think this is good. We've got our triangle going on. We've got all 3. All right, first card down. Again, that was the Shaded Summer stamp set. And this isn't one that's part of a suite, so I think sometimes these like individual stamp sets can get overlooked. But this, like I said, this was the one I chose for free for on tour. So if you are a demonstrator and you get a free choice, this might be a good one for you to choose. All right, should we make another card? Yeah, baby, let's do it. One of the favorite suites that caught my eye in this catalog is the Bloom Where You're Planted suite. This is on page 80 of the new catalog. And I'm not sure why it caught my eye so much because I kill houseplants. I have a black thumb, and we have a few plants. And they are funeral plants, you know, like when someone dies and then you get a plant. And so the only reason they're still alive is because my husband cares for them so lovingly and tenderly. And I can't let them die, right? Because they're funeral plants. So I just feel this obligation to keep these plants alive. But I really love them, and they're thriving so much because of Jim's awesome care. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why I'm drawn to this Bloom Where You Planted. But I feel like plants have become this really big thing. Do you guys have a lot of house plants? And I don't know anything about plants. So like, I have no idea what kind of plants these are. I can't tell you. I'll have to do some research. But I did want to make a card with this new suite. And in particular, I wanted to case this card. So again, case is copy and share everything or copy and selectively edit. But in this case, I love it so much, I'm going to make it exactly like that. Sometimes when I get stumped on cards, when I'm feeling like I don't have an idea or I don't have a mojo, like I just open up the catalog and I flag like this with Post-it notes. I flag projects that catch my eye and that I like. Sometimes I change them up. In fact, let me show you really quick some projects that I already cased, and I can show you the original project. I couldn't do this when the catalog wasn't live because I wasn't allowed to show you inside pages of the catalog, but now that it's live, I can show you how I was inspired. Where's the other one? Here it is. Okay, so here are some cards that I've already cased from the catalog. And actually, I cased both of these from the bundle index in the back. So let's just flip back there really quick. And I changed these. I changed the colors on both of these cards. I did kind of make it the same besides the colors. So the first one I did here using the Color and Contour bundle. I picked colors from the weekly color challenge and Julie's Stampin' Spot Share and Connect group. So the challenge colors were Melon Mambo, Pool Party, Misty Moonlight, and Old Olive. And so those are the colors that I chose, but the idea came right here from the catalog. So you can see the inspiration card. I did cut down and like not do as many flowers, and it looks like I left off the gems. But I really like the way it turned out. I added some of the stamped blooms in the background here. So this is just like Melon Mambo ink on Melon Mambo cardstock, and then these I stamped and die cut. And then I wanted to incorporate that pink color again, because whenever I'm making a card, I try to use each color like more than once. I try not to use a color only once. So for the green, I've got the green ribbon and the green sentiment. For the pink, for the melon mambo, I've got the card base, and I did stamp the flowers back there, but I wanted to pull in that color again. And so I used Stampin' blends to color on the rhinestones and created this little trio here on that flower. So I did include rhinestones. I just didn't put them all over the card. Okay, so that's one card that I cased from the catalog. The other card that I cased is in the Punch Bundle index, and it's this one. So this one is using the Flowers of Friendship bundle. And you maybe saw this one. I posted it in the, I posted it on my blog and in the Share and Connect group, because I put it in for the international highlights. So you can go vote for this card if you like it. But here was my inspiration right from the catalog. This is the Punch Bundle page 148. And I did like switch up the flowers a little bit. So here we've got this cluster at the top, and instead I kind of like, I did more of like a cascade of flowers. I stamped and punched some of the leaves, but some of them are just the stamp. And then the background, so I changed the colors too. So this is Fresh Freesia and Soft Succulent. It looks like they've used Garden Green and Pale Papaya, maybe, but I really love, I feel like this color is just ramped up on this one. And the other addition that I made was adding those loose flowers to the flowers as well. And I love that it's the same color. So like it doesn't like pop, you know, too much. It's really subtle, but we've got that great texture. So, oh, thank you. Eva says she likes mine better. I do too. I was really happy with the way that card turned out. Both of them, really. So sometimes I make changes when I case the catalog, and sometimes I just copy the catalog exactly. So that's what we're going to do tonight with this card here, because I just love it the way it is. So I've prepared some cardstock pieces. I just tried to kind of guess on the sizes. So let me pull this out of the way. Oh, I was going to show you the paper up close. This is a 12 by 12 designer paper. I'm going to lift that up so you can see this better. This is a 12 by 12 designer paper. I've cut it down just for ease of showing you, but I love how there's elements in this designer paper that can be cut out with the dies. So we've got all these different pots and baskets, and let me show you the dies that go with this stamp set. So these dies will cut out, like that one cuts that, and this one cuts there. So you can cut out the images, and then also the pots can be cut out. So that's really fun. Or there's these detailed dies. We're going to actually use that one and that one as well. I'll keep that out. Not that one. Let's put these back. So we've got dies that cut out the plants, dies that cut out the pots. And then if you want a fussy cut, look at these awesome images. Like, these are just so perfect to cut out and put on a card. And then we've got some great backgrounds with the ferns and the leaves. And this one's really fun. This is one of those sheets that has this on one side and this on the other. So like, you can cut it into the 4" by 5 1/4 pieces for a card front and get 6 card fronts from that sheet. So really awesome. I love when they think that way. Okay, so this is side 1. Let's flip it over and show you side 2. Oh, I hadn't seen this before. It's always hard to tell in the catalog. So we've got a ton of great neutrals here. So like some nice sort of texture. We've got a brick and another brick. This is cinnamon cider. Some sort of fern, and then some wood grain. That's also in cinnamon cider. So these are really like pale and light. I'm kind of digging that. I love this side too, though. So we've got lots of greens: evening evergreen, just jade, soft succulent. It's just gorgeous paper. So I'm using a piece of the paper tonight, the brick wall, and that's going to be filling up most of the card base. So let's get out the paper trimmer. And the card sample has this just kind of cut like at an angle, and it doesn't have to be exact, right? So I've cut this to 4 inches wide, and I'm just gonna cut the angle that I want. Again, there's not like a wrong way. That wasn't a very wide angle, but I think just enough. And I think that's going to be good. I don't want to cut it any shorter. So to accent that cut line, I do have a piece of just jade. So I'm going to add that to the back and cut this. Let's see. Just so that there's a nice border like that. And let's get my scissors. Okay, so I'm just going to cut flush with the paper. So my 1 inch strip, I did make it longer than 1 or 4 inches so that it would go all the way to the edges. Since it's diagonal, it's going to need to be a little longer than 4, and then you can trim the edges. Okay, so this is going to go on the front of the card. That actually looks pretty close, I think. So let's go ahead and glue that down. And I'm leaving like about a 1/2 inch at the top because I'm just following what the sample did. I did cut a white piece for the inside, so we'll stamp something on that when we do our stamping. We need to die cut, and I think we can do most of this with Lucy. So these are going to be for the little, I don't know what it is, the plant. And then we're doing Sahara sand. So I've got just jade, mint macaron, Sahara sand, and then a scrap here of the cinnamon cider. And this is for the pot in the, let me show you that card again as I move my catalog from one side to the other. I gotta dig in here. So this suite includes, I'm not using it, but it includes the macrame 3D embossing folder. Actually, you know what? It doesn't. That's a lie. It includes the paper lattice. So I love that we've got a suite and you can get like everything with one item number. So this suite includes the bundle, the designer paper, and then the paper lattice. I ordered that. I just have to dig it out of my box. So these, I think there's like 10 to a package, and it's sort of like a craft paper, and it's already laser cut like that. So it's really cool. The macrame, I think, could coordinate, but it's not specifically part of this suite. They did use it on some of the samples. Okay, I'm stamping in not just jade, cinnamon cider. Here's our color scheme. Aren't those colors just so pretty? Using cinnamon cider ink on cinnamon cider cardstock, and then we'll die cut that. Oh, that's so pretty. This is one of the I think it's a distinctive stamp set. So you get this really awesome detail. That shadow is built in. That's part of the image. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's die cut and then we'll do more stamping. Let's get Lucy out for this job. Oh, she's over here. Come on, Luce. These little dies will fit perfectly in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I call her Lucy. She's the daughter I stopped before having. I have 3 daughters. So I have a daughter. I can't say the daughter I never had because I have 3 daughters. But I didn't have a Lucy. I thought about Lucy as a name for my girls, and it just didn't happen. So that's why I call her Lucy, because she's the Lucy I never had. Okay, that was the first pass. So that was our plant holder and one of the, I don't know, it looks like aloe, but it's not aloe. I don't know. I'm not going to guess on plants because I really don't know. Okay, next pass is going to be for that plant again and our pot. And just a reminder, if you feel like you can't keep these from shifting. Oh yeah, that is gonna shift. You can use a Post-it to kind of hold that down with the temporary sticky on the Post-it. Will help keep it in place while you send it through the machine. Washi tape will also work. Susan says some kind of succulent. Yes, I'm gonna go with that. Okay, let's put Lucy down. Thank you, Lucy. And we're gonna do some more stamping. Okay, so I've got the inside piece and the outside piece. Let's get rid of our scraps. You know what, we better put these dies away before we lose one. Remember that bow tie? I still haven't found it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad about that. How the heck were these on here? I never can get them on the same way twice. I've seen some tips where you run it through your die cutting machine before you peel them off and it leaves an impression. I guess that would be smart. Maybe I'll remember to do that next time. Okay, so let's start. We're going to have this be here at the top, and the pot's going to go inside. And so that's going to kind of give us an idea of how much room we have at the bottom for the sentiment. So I'm going to use Early Espresso for the sentiment. And this is the one thing I changed about this card is I switched out the sentiment. I think in the sample it used "You were there and I am very grateful." Maybe we'll put that on the inside. I don't know if I got that one out. Okay, so next up, we're stamping this, probably another succulent, inside the pot. The pot is going to go over it. So this is going to be just like a good guess. So I'm going to kind of line up and hold my finger. Let's see how we did. Yeah, I did pretty good. Okay, now one thing that is unique about this card, and there's like a little call out here in the catalog, is they have customized the hanging, the plant holder hanging thing, and they've cut off some of the pieces to make it a little bit different. So here's what it looks like without any modifications, and you can see on our card it's just like it's narrower, so we cut off the side pieces. So I'm going to use that as a guide to trim. Hey Jimmy. Okay, so I'm looking here. And yep, we're gonna cut so that this is an angle, and then this goes off completely. Okay, so that's one side, and then the other side. Let's see, where did I go with this? All the way down here. Okay. So just like kind of fun to like change it up and do something different. So that's how that is changed. And then the sides of the pot just kind of peek over a little bit. Let's go ahead and stick this on with a little bit of Tombow. You could also use the fine tip glue pen. But I like that the multi-purpose liquid glue is a little bit like it sticks faster. The fine tip glue takes a longer time to dry, and so I'm not very patient with it. So you don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. And then this sets up pretty quick. I think for the pot, we're going to put this on with Stampin' Dimensionals, and then we'll tuck in these plants with glue dots. So let's put a couple of dimensionals on the card and line that up. and our glue dots. I had a comment on YouTube. Someone said, "You say a lot." And so now I feel so conscious of trying not to say so I don't know, is that something I do? Do I say a lot? One on each side there, and I just stuck those on with the glue dot. Okay, one little detail that is kind of fun about this card, I'm going to bring it back in again and show you, is that there's a little loop of twine at the top. Maybe you didn't even notice it, but I love that it actually attaches to this die cut. So this isn't just like floating in the middle of nowhere. It's attached to something. So I'm using the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. This comes with kind of all your neutral essentials here. So we've got some Sahara sand or gray granite, black, vanilla, white, and that looks like craft or crumb cake. So that's going to be close enough. I think maybe... or maybe it's this darker one. I think I like this color as a match a little bit better. So you don't need a whole lot. What we're going to do is we're just going to loop it through and then like glue it to the back. So just like a little piece. This is just such a little detail, but I think that it makes it, there's the oh gosh! I think it just really like makes the card when you add these little details like that. So that's gonna, see how I just looped it through, and then I'm gonna pull those around to the back and use my very favorite tear and tape. That's always what I use to kind of hold things like this down. So I'm just gonna tape that to the back. Isn't that just a fun little detail? Okay, this is ready to go onto the card. Let's bring that back in, and that's going to go on like this. I feel like it could be a little more narrow, but I don't want to cut into the thank you too much. I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Don't yell at me. I want to trim just a little bit off of each side and make this a little more narrow. When I prepared this project, I wasn't sure about the measurements, so I just kind of guessed. And like I cut it and I held it up to the card base to see if that was going to be about right. But I think I like it a little skinnier. The proportions are better on the card that way. This is turning out really awesome. This is going to go on with dimensionals. I'm using 5, one in the middle for a little stability and support. And over here on the right side, I'm keeping it, sometimes it's nice to center things, but I like to have things off center a little bit. I think it just sort of adds to the interest instead of being so like cookie cutter. Okay, I did want to add something inside because I've been really trying to make an effort to stamp some more on the inside of my cards. So I'm just gonna, I got these stamps out. I'm going to just stamp like a flower in a pot. It's not really a flower, it's a leaf. Because this is not a flower stamp set, it's plants. So sometimes I know we get like overloaded with flowers, but this one is plants, not flowers. So there's the leaf, and then I'm going to do this little pot with cinnamon cider to go on the inside. There are some really great sentiments. You know what, maybe I'll add another sentiment. I didn't put one on a block, but I feel like this really could be finished off nicely. And this has some really great things for the inside. I like this one, a little note with the biggest thanks. So let's put this in here. And I'm going to point out this feature to you really quick, because you may have noticed the photopolymer stamp sets are now, they don't have the image on the sheet as they did before. The image is inside the paper insert. And so the idea is that when you're done and you clean your stamp, that you'll put it back onto the stamp case itself, and it's sticky enough that it'll stick there. So I'm not quite on board because I feel like it's not going to stay on there and they're going to fall off. I think I'm just feeling kind of nervous, but I have heard that if you have stamps like that that are falling off, you can clean them with soap and water, and then they'll become sticky again, and they should stick to your case and not have any problems falling off. So it's a silly little fear of mine that really, I think doesn't matter. Okay, there's the inside of our card. Oh gosh, I love these colors. That is mint macaron, just jade, cinnamon cider, and early espresso are the colors that we used on this card. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you like this one. Is this a card that you want to duplicate too? Did this one catch your eye in the catalog? Yes. I really think I'm going to enjoy making cards with this sweet. The cinnamon cider is a color that I really haven't used a lot. This is an in color, the one that carried over. I always call them junior in colors and senior in colors. So this is the second year for cinnamon cider. This is part of the in colors that include Misty Moonlight, Just Jade. What else is in there? Magenta Madness and Bumblebee. Okay, second card down. We have, I'm going to say one more card, but really the next set of projects is more than just one card. We are going to do some cards next using some designer paper. I really love this sweet Symmetry designer paper. It caught my eye in the catalog because of the colors, and I didn't get the coordinating stamp set. So this is a punch bundle, and it's like a border punch, but it punches two of these like little leaves. I didn't get the stamp set, but the paper is really fabulous. So let me show you in person. This is called Sweet Symmetry. And, oh, there's that, guys, the paper is just really pretty. I love the bright colors. I love these flowers. So the colors here, we've got Bumblebee, Calypso Coral, Flirty Flamingo, Night of Navy, Just Jade. I just realized I cut the wrong pink. I think I cut polished pink to go with that. Might have to switch that up. Okay, so here's one side. We've got all the flowers. On the other side, we've got more neutral kind of patterns. And to me, like, this looks like a quilt, right? Like we could make a quilt or something. So I don't have the stamp set. So instead, I'll be making some cards using the Biggest Wish stamp set. As I mentioned, this is the one that you can add onto your product share at a discount. So in the product share, you'll get all the new designer paper, ribbon, embellishments, and then you have the option to add on this stamp set. Normally it is $20 with tax and shipping, and I'm giving you an $8 discount when you add it onto the product share, making it $12. And so with the stamp set and the paper share, which you'll get this exact set right here of 6 sheets from the Sweet Symmetry, you can make the cards that I'm going to show you today. So the cards are based on the Double Wonder card templates. This was something we did last year in April during the pandemic. It was like the first Stamp Along With Me. This template and these card ideas were designed by Shannon West. She designed the card templates, the cutting templates. I just created the handout and did a class online with Shannon's measurements. So thank you again to Shannon for these awesome ideas. Now, whether you're cutting apart a 6x12 sheet of card or designer paper and creating a whole bunch, or just cutting for 1 or 2 cards, these card layouts are really handy and kind of like a go-to for me. So I've cut for several several of these cards. Oh, actually, before we get to those cards, I want to show you another new product. So I've got some pieces cut for that, and then we're going to do double wonders. Let me set the double wonder aside for a second. This is the Picture This dies. These are brand new in the catalog, and they're not bundled with anything, so you may have overlooked them. There are 2 dies. One cuts 3 rectangle windows, and the other cuts 6 stitched circles. So the idea is that you make them like one cut and it makes like a card front. So we're going to cut this. Let's get our Stampin' cut and emboss machine back up here. The color I'm using is just Jade, and I'm going to center that into the window. My card front is 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8 inch. So like it's a little bit, oh, I'm missing something. Like that was too easy. I'm missing my the thin die adapter because I ran that embossing folder through. So I've just got to stick this back on there. There we go. Now it'll work for the die. I forgot what I was saying though. Oh, the card front. So it's a little bit smaller than like the size that we cut for a regular card front, but I didn't go quite down 2 sizes. I wanted there to be like some extra space there, but I did do color on color. So you can see the result is this background that has the windows, and then you've got these other pieces. Both of them are stitched. You've got stitching on the negative piece and stitching on the positive piece, so you can save these for another card. I've cut some designer paper so that we can glue them in the windows. So we've got some coordinating pieces here, and let's go ahead and add that adhesive. Now you can either glue it to the back of the window, or you could glue it to the card and then glue the frame on with Stampin' Dimensionals. So that is an option too if you want to add some more dimension to your card. I'm just gonna glue it onto the back of the frame today. Okay, and then the last window is going to be for the words. Maybe I should have done the paper on the top and the words on the bottom. I think I like that. Well, you know what? Plants they grow from the ground, so let's keep that down there. It is a cool die, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to stamp the words that are going to go in that window, and we can use our window to see what's going to fit. I was worried about happy birthday, but it does fit in there. There's so many options. That's what I love about this stamp set. Let's do thanks. We're going to use some of the other stamps on other cards, so we'll get them all used up. Now, the thing that's fun about this stamp set is we've got like the bold words and then the script words, and so you can use them together or you can use them separate. I'm going to use a long block. This is H, and I'm going to put one on one side and one on the other. For this card, I'm going to use Bumblebee and Just Jade. And I'm going to stamp the larger bold stamp. I have not done this yet, so hopefully it turns out. We're going to do Bumblebee. This is, since I haven't inked it up or cleaned it, I feel like I wasn't getting enough ink on there. That's better. But it's crooked. Okay, Julie. That's what I cut extras. Did you see that? We've got lots of tags just in case. And I kind of just eyeballed on the holes. If your thing is too big, then you can always cut it down. So I'm going to go off base just a little. It's a little bit busy, but I kind of like it. So that's going to go inside this window and then onto the card front. Let's close up our ink pads and finish up this card. These little window dies are called Picture This. There's the item number 155559. They make it so easy to make quick and easy cards. You can put anything in the window, whether you're stamping images or filling it with designer paper. You can finish up a card in no time with this Picture This die. I'm going to see if I can pull up. There's one sample I'm thinking of in particular that is really cute. It has animals, and so you've got different animals poking through each of the windows. It's super cute. I'm putting the card front on with Stampin' Dimensionals, and you could add more to it, but I really just like the simplicity of having the paper peeking through. So let's find that sample really quick and see. I should have marked the page. Oh, there's one. This isn't the one I was thinking of, but that's with the circles, and they've created a shaker card. So you get some shaker in all of the windows. That's kind of fun. The one I'm thinking of has some animals. So I'm just trying to figure out which section that would be in. Oops, are we getting close? Nope, that's plants. If you guys know, leave a comment and tell me. It's a scavenger hunt. You know, I don't know the name of the stamp set that I'm thinking of, but the puffins are nearby, so that will give me, I was so close. Here we go, Peekaboo Farm, and here is the cute card I was thinking of. So we've got the sentiment, we've got the animals, and they have these cute little, like, their hooves. I think they all have hooves, all those animals peeking through, and then some designer paper in there. So that's really fun. They actually did add some embellishments there and some twine, and so you could embellish that a little bit more. I don't think this one, it goes so perfectly with this die set, but this is not bundled with anything. The Picture This dies are in the back where the dies are. And Picture This right here. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. It says, see these dies in use on page 67, but it's not bundled with anything. So we could add, what would we add? What would you add if you added something here? Some twine? I think that would be like something simple to add. Let's just tie one really quick and see what we think. These colors feel so fresh and new, even though they're the carryover in colors. I'm digging that we've got Just Jade in so many of the papers. Well, and really Bumblebee as well, and I think there's some Misty Moonlight in some of the papers. I always look to the designer papers for color combination inspiration. Color inspiration. I kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and add that twine bow with a glue dot, and that just sort of accents our greeting a little bit. Breaks up the green. That's really cute. Okay, that is one card, but we're going to make some more with this stamp set and with this designer paper. So I have used the Dumble Wonder, and I will include the link to this in the video description when I'm all done so that you can print out this flyer. This is a free download on my webpage, so you can you can download this and you can print it out and make cards. So this is the cutting template, and then this kind of talks about how to use those pieces and create the layouts that are shown on the side. So the second layout here is one that I've cut, and this one's really easy. We've got strips of designer paper that are 2 inches, no, sorry, 1 inch by 5 1/4. And so I pulled out polished pink. This is supposed to be Flirty Flamingo, but I think it looks okay on polished pink. So I've got this one for this card, and then I couldn't decide. So I also did one with the Just Jade. These are very similar. They're actually different patterns than this card, but similar colors. So let's go ahead and do this. So the way this card works is I've scored in half at 4 1/4 inch, and then I've scored 1 1/4 inch from the side, and I'm going to fold that back like this. Now you can glue that down if you want to, or you can just leave it open. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And then these 1 inch strips of designer paper go, look at that. See, they were opposite sides of the paper. That's why I had to make a second card. These are going to go on the side of the card. So I'm going to do the darker bold pattern here and the other pattern on the inside of the card so that it peeks through. This is a really easy, fun layout. Okay, so then we're going to stamp some words, and we'll put it like that and kind of overhang a little bit. So let's glue this one down first, and then we will stamp our words and add those to the card. These cards, the Double Wonder template, you can dress them up or keep them really simple. I love that there's so much flexibility with these card patterns, and they're so easy and versatile that they work with so many different kinds of designer paper and so many different stamp sets. So you can add some ribbon, you can add some embellishments, die cut images. I'm going to keep it simple tonight and just add sentiment tags. Although, you know what might be pretty to try is some of that in color ribbon, the polished pink. What do we have in Bumblebee? Okay, I'm going to think what I might be able to pull out. In the meantime, let's stamp our sentiments. So I'm taking from the Biggest Wish to stay kind of easy here. And Julie, gosh, let's do I kind of like mixing up the words. So like we have friend and we have hello, so we can do hello friend. And we could also just straight up do one that says thanks, you know, and happy birthday. Let's see. I need blocks. I'll do the same thing where I'm going to double mount them, one on one side and one on the other. Colors, I chose the polished pink, even though technically now I see that the correct color is Flirty Flamingo. Whoa! That picked up a lot of ink. Let's see what this is going to do. Hey, it wasn't so bad. I'm not sure why it picked up so much ink in the middle. The key though is, so this is just, it's a brand new ink pad, so it's super, super juicy. But you don't need to push really hard. If you push really hard, you're probably going to get all that ink on your project. So don't push too hard. You don't, just need a light touch, especially with new juicy, juicy ink pads. Very light touch. Okay, hello, friend. What do you think? Is that too busy? I kind of like it. I like the combination there. So we're going to do that. Hello, friend. And on the other one, maybe for this one, we'll just keep it simple. And just use, oh, did I just ink myself? We're just going to use thanks without the other part. What do you think? I feel like I could use some ribbon or something. A little hard to read the hello. Yeah. I think when it dries, it'll be okay. Like the ink will soak into the cardstock and make it a little easier to read. Okay, this needs something. Part of this stamp set is these little pluses. So let's go ahead and just add that little accent to this card. But isn't this paper, this, what is it called? Symmetry. What kind of symmetry is it? Symmetry. I'm checking. Who's got the answer before I can look it up? Sweet Symmetry. Sweet Symmetry. That helped, I think, a little bit. The other thing we could do is Lori was saying you could use something on the Just Jade. So like you could stamp those pluses. Boop. Boop. Up the side. And then I think I would use like something skinnier. Like we could do that thanks again, but let's cut it down so it's not so wide. And we don't have so much empty space. Okay, you guys are not digging this hello friend though, huh? Is it the colors that you don't like or the sentiment? Yeah, okay, Sean says she likes him. I do think I have some jade ribbon that would be pretty on a card too. Sometimes I worry about overdoing it. Do you worry about that? Do you like your cards clean and simple, or are you one to add lots of embellishments and fun things? Here is some the polished pink ribbon. I really feel like we could use some navy ribbon though. I don't have any navy ribbon. What do you think of the polished pink ribbon? What do we have? I'm going to look really quick in the catalog at the new ribbons and see what I might be able to go pull from my box. Let's have a look. There are so many. Look at all those embellishments. There's so many options in this catalog. Okay, looking at the ribbons. The Flirty Flamingo would be really pretty with, if maybe I used Flirty Flamingo, but I picked the wrong pink here. I'm not sure that any of the ribbons will go. Yeah, I kind of like the pink ribbon though. And I think there's some Just Jade. Hang on, I'm going to grab it from the box. This is going to be tone on tone with the Just Jade, but this is a new jade ribbon. Come on. It's kind of pretty. if I had these stamps and dies, like I guess there's not a die, it's just a stamp. If I had these stamps, maybe I would like do a flower and, you know, cut it out and kind of put it up there. All right, what do you think about the ribbons? Yay! Heather, I love this stamp set. It's so much fun and it covers all the bases. Okay. I don't have a yellow ribbon that will work. Do I have a yellow ribbon? Yellow ribbon could work on both of them. Sean says the pink card looks like a Julie card. Oh yeah, the bumblebee. Maybe the that gingham ribbon. I do have some of that. Okay, let's grab that and see. This card was supposed to be quick and easy. We weren't supposed to fuss about it. The whole point was that it would be fast. Let's grab the bumblebee gingham. Yellow ribbon. Isn't there a song about a yellow ribbon in her hair? Right? Is that like too much yellow here though? I know, I don't have any navy ribbon though. Navy ribbon would be so perfect. And this is where like I would take the opportunity to like dye ribbon, you know, like you color ribbon. I'm not doing that right now though. Oops, I leaked. I do like the yellow ribbon on here. Okay, so you know what? Maybe instead of ribbon, because sometimes when I want to do ribbon and it's not working, maybe we just need like a banner of cardstock. So I like the yellow, the bumblebee. Let's grab bumblebee cardstock and let's cut a banner to go behind the sentiments. And I think that might be just the thing that we're looking for. So let's do like a 1/2 inch. Right, and do like a little Does that act as ribbon? Do you think that works? It's faux ribbon. I'm kind of digging that. I'm going to move that up there. We're going to do our little cardstock banner pieces. And that will give us the little pop of color that we want. I think yellow on both of them is going to work. And we're going to add this with Stampin' Dimensionals. Being careful, if you have some overhang, be careful not to put adhesive on the bit that's going to overhang so that you don't end up gluing your card closed. There's one card, hello friend. And thanks. I'm gonna cut a new strip and only cut one side. Yay! It all turned out okay. Sometimes it's tricky, right? And we have to improvise as we go. This is what I do when I stamp by myself. I'm constantly tweaking, thinking about trying something different, pulling it apart. We did good because we didn't pull anything apart this time. No adhesive there, good. Okay, there we go. Our two Double Wonder card templates. I love the way those turned out. One of the other Double Wonder card layouts that is really fun is this first one with the 3 panels. And so I thought that would be a really good one as well with this designer paper. So I've cut some pieces. The designer paper for this card, you need 3 1.5 inch by 3 inch pieces. So you can also cut this size really easily from a 6 by 6 piece of cardstock, and you're going to get a lot of cards from one sheet. So I'm going to glue these down on the Night of Navy cardstock. The Night of Navy is 3 1/4 by 5. Again, I will put all these measurements in the video description. Do you guys know how to find those in the video description? I always say that every month or every week, and I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you find everything okay. Should we do the pattern in the middle? Let's do that, and then do multicolored pattern in the middle. We'll do just jade here on the side. This card is fun because it can be either vertical or no, horizontal or vertical. Either way, since our sentiments are horizontal, we're going to do a horizontal sentiment on this set. And I was thinking the birthday would be a good one to do. We haven't done birthday yet, so let's take that off the block, and the happy off the block. And you can stack these too. So like, let me show you. And I'll do all 3 of these stamps, and we can see what the combination looks like. Okay. I think this one will fit. So let's go color-wise. Let's do, for the base, the lightest color, and that is Bumblebee. Sometimes that first image is just not great. Okay, and then for the one over it, I'm going to try 2 things. I'm going to try to go a little lower on the birthday and higher for the happy. Should we do that in navy or Calypso coral for the happy? You guys tell me which color the happy should be in. One of these 2, coral or navy. And I will do what color you say. In the meantime, I am going to cut a little piece. And show you a simple card. Okay. I'm seeing some of your answers. I'm going to give you another second. Coral, navy, navy, navy. While you guys are answering, I'm going to do, let's take a look and see what it looks like to do both of the blocks. Happy. Where did birthday go? Birthday. These look kind of blotchy, but I think when they soak in, like I think it's going to be okay. Oh, navy. You know what? Let's see. Try coral on a scrap birthday. Yeah, I'm seeing more navies than coral, but we do have 2 birthdays here. So I don't think the coral is going to be dark enough because Bumblebee is pretty dark. So that's coral. And this is navy. But up. Oh, that was close. I think navy. Oh gosh, it needs coral ribbon, doesn't it? Like maybe we'll do our little faux ribbon again with a piece of cardstock. Let's grab gonna get out my trusty tailored tag punch. I love these for the quick banner tip. We incorporate that coral back in there. Yes, 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 yes. Love it. Let's glue this down with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And then I'm going to show you what I started over here because I want to finish this into a card and show you. It wasn't planned, but isn't that the best kind of cards? Hitting when inspiration strikes and rolling with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These card templates, again, you could dress up and make really fancy or keep it really simple. So when you're making these cards at home, you can make it as stepped up or as simple as desired. But this paper, the Sweet Symmetry, is just so perfect for these layouts because we've got nice and tight small patterns. So you get a lot of the pattern in a small piece of designer paper. I love these cards. I'm gonna have to make a whole set of the double wonder. Here's what it looks like if you stamp the sentiments here. If you stamp with 2 of the bold ones instead of doing a combination. And so I thought this would be a really quick and easy card to do a little bit of, let's see what I've got cut. What can we just add, like a strip across? Right? Gosh, any of these. I favor these dark patterns. What have I not used though? That one. It's too pale. I love that. This might be my favorite pattern with the navy. So I'm going to do a strip across. This is 3 3/4 inches. Another super simple card. Do I have a card base cut? Yes, I do. And this one, gosh, definitely needs like a little flower up here. You know what else it needs? A navy layer. Definitely needs a navy layer. So the navy is 4 by 5 1/4, and the white is 3 3/4 inches by 5. Super simple. This is not the same stamp set, but I think it's going to be close enough. So we're going to do it. We're going to stamp, that's not the same color. this flower not symmetrical? Oh boy. I was not paying attention and didn't stamp it so that I could easily reach it. So sometimes when my scrap is too little like this, come back out, there we go. I use a Post-it note with a sticky there to be like my handle, and then I can hold, there we go, I can hold that in place and get it where it needs to be. So that's how you improvise. Okay. Is that too big? Maybe we just need one flower up there. 2 flowers? Tell me what you think about the flowers. This was, what stamp set did I use? Flowers of Friendship, which coordinates with that awesome punch. And it's not quite the same flower, but I think it works. I think I'm waiting for comments to catch up. I'm going to see if I can find a yellow center to go in the middle. Let's get out the box of goodies. Maybe gold enamel. I'm seeing, oh, is that bumblebee? That's daffodil. Not quite the same yellow. I think the big one is too top heavy. Some of you are saying 1 flower. Some of you are saying 2 flowers. Some of you are saying skip the flowers and just keep it simple. Or add some gems. I don't know, I feel like that's too big up there. And the gems, these are the gold enamel dots. I think they're still gold glitter enamel dots. I think they're still in the catalog. What I really would love is some Calypso coral gems, but I don't think I have any. With all the different kinds of gems that are in the catalog, that's kind of... Why do I feel so limited? Let's take a gander. The sequins would probably work. Let's take a look at the sequins. I do love those Artistry Bloom sequins. I use them so much. And they're so easy because they're self-adhesive. You get 4 sheets, like 4 different colors. There's like a light yellow, a darker, sort of corally orange, a purple, and a blue. This might be our answer. What do you think? Oh, I'm seeing some hearts. I think that is a winning combination. I like the flower too. I want to incorporate the flower because I just feel like it brings the paper up into the card. Yay! Okay, I think we got a winner. Well, that was like a lot of bonus cards. That was 4 cards at the end. We used the biggest Wish stamp set. And again, you can get this at a discount when you sign up for my product share. This is like, seriously, last day tomorrow. If you want it, make sure that you reserve your spot right away because I need to work on those next week and get them out. tinyurl.com/2021AC product share will get you to the sign up page, and you can add on the biggest Wish stamp set. That's the one that we used for all of these cards. So let's review these 4 cards that we made really quick. Most of them using the Double Wonder template, which I will include the link to this handout in the video description when we're all done. So you can look for that there. I'll also include a shopping list. So if you want to get any of the things that I showed you today, you can shop online in my store at juliedavison.com/shop. The best deal right now is to sign up and be a demonstrator. You can choose $155 in your demonstrator starter kit for only $99 plus tax. Shipping is free on the starter kit order. And then you get access to the demonstrator discount of 20% on all your future orders while you're active, which will be at least for 4 to 6 months, depending on when you join and when you have to make your first quarter. Here is the last set of cards that we made, and to review, oh gosh, we made a lot of cards. So we made those, but we also made this one with that designer paper. So that was 5 cards at the end, and we started with the shaded summer and the bloom where you're planted case. So we've been busy, and I'm sure we are well over an hour. Thank you for joining me tonight. Leave a comment. Let me know which of these projects is your favorite. Which are you looking forward to casing and duplicating yourself at home? Because I always love to know what inspires you when I'm crafting, so I know what to show you more of. I'll be back with some quick look videos in the next couple days. I still owe you so many of those so I can show off some of my new catalog swaps and really show off some more new products from the catalog. But I hope you enjoyed this peek at new catalog projects tonight, and watch the link in the video description as well for the open house projects so that you can see, if you haven't watched already, you can see the Party Puffins vertical diorama card and the Beauty of the Earth window card. I showed those on Tuesday, so that video is up there. I'll link to it in the description. That is it for me tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.